This is a lesson about finding what's called the absolute value of a number. And let me start by just saying that every number has two characteristics. It has what's called its magnitude, that's the number itself, and then it has a direction. Positive numbers are directed to the right of 0, negative numbers are directed to the left of 0. So a number has a magnitude and a direction. But an absolute value is just the number's magnitude, and rather than continue to use that word, we're going to say it is the number's distance from 0, but it's not taking into account direction. The symbols for absolute value are two vertical bars, two up and down bars. And if you had this little expression, it would be read the absolute value of 3. Now, the absolute value of 3 is equal to 3 because the distance that is from 0 is 3 units. All right, so the absolute value of 3 is 1, 2, 3 units from 0. The absolute value of negative 3 is also 3 because if I was just looking at distance, it is 3 units from 0. The direction doesn't count. So the absolute value of a positive number will always be positive. The absolute value of 2 is 2. The absolute value of a negative number will always be positive. Some people like to say, oh, so absolute value is always positive. Well, we don't say that because there is an exception. The absolute value of 0 is 0, which is not a positive number. So that's the one exception. Other than that, you could say that the absolute value of all positives is positive, the absolute value of all negatives is positive. The only one that's an exception, the absolute value of 0, is 0. All right, so let's take a look at some examples where we're finding absolute value. All right, number 1, the absolute value of 8. I'm going to try to make my absolute value bars real distinct, will be 8. It's 8 units from 0. The absolute value of negative 2 is 2. The absolute value of negative 25 is 25. What's the absolute value of negative 18? Well, it's 18. The absolute value of negative 1 is 1. So you can see from these examples that absolute value always takes the sign away. It does not care about direction. It just wants to know if you were counting it off from 0, how many blocks would it be? So you can see that these all became positive. The only exception ever would be that the absolute value of 0 is 0. And I hope you understand absolute values now.